Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
And welcome back to the show. I hope everybody had a very safe and eventful holiday weekend. This is the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. 2 hours straight of sports talk, goose gaps, all of that good stuff. And Joe, right out the gates, man, there's a little bit of rust to get off. I'll say that much. There's a little bit of rust to get off.
No, there absolutely is. And I think it's funny because we were gone for a week. Everything was good while you were doing talking ball, all that. And then we come in on Monday morning and all crap is just broke loose. It's just all different. Everything's different now.
Yeah, well, there's like a dog just chilling out, guarding the outside now.
There
was
is
a chair under one of the bushes that I had to move. I mean, it was like 4th of July was a total war zone.
There was
around the studio.
Yeah, there's there's also now like a secret password that we have to get in.
Still no keyless entry.
No. That's that's coming in 2030, and so it's it's a little bit different. After it's crazy how much can change in a week, because as I'm sitting over here and we were getting ready for the show, I'm writing down everything that's happened over the last 7 days, just since last Monday. There's a lot of stuff that went down, man.
That's a little bit.
I mean, I'm just like, why is this already here? This is here. Let's add this. Oh, and this, and this, and this. Yeah, just kept happening.
Definitely a lot of stuff to get into today to kind of catch up with, none of the other shows except for maybe Talking Ball because they were going throughout the weekend, but they're off today. Of course, you heard the best of earlier. On top of that, the Tom Abraham Show still going, but Tom, he's still out of town. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe he just extended his own vacation. I guess it doesn't make sense. Able to do that. But regardless, Joe, we're going to get back in the flow of things. I want to know what you were up to over the 4th of July weekend and also maybe the week prior because I fell in love with something new. All right. I'll admit. I have it all over my computer screens, my phone screens. And this isn't something I'm going to talk about regularly on the show because nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear about it.
Nobody cares.
But it's the 24-hour races, the endurance races.
Dude,
I brought up.
You were on that. No, wait, it was last week. It was last week.
I was talking to you here in the studio, even though we didn't have a show, we were still working hard because, of course, there's a lot of stuff going on. And, well, football season literally right around the corner. I mean, we blink and it'll be the 30th and we'll have games going left and right, which both Alabama and Florida State, definitely a hot commodity. I think we're looking at both teams. The recruiting classes are on the rise, and I'm definitely excited to talk some more about those teams as we get closer to the opening week. But I got into the 24-hour races, and I missed the one this past weekend because it is very hard to figure out which channel on YouTube they're going to be on. But it's all under the same realm of the GT World, GT3, GT2 classes. Joe, I spent 24 hours watching a race last weekend. Not this past weekend, the weekend before that one.
So don't you just mean way too much time?
24, yeah. I will say this, Joe, and I'm just going to put this down there. It was the most bizarre sporting event that I have ever watched. Something that sticks with you for the rest of your life. That's what I experienced when I was watching this race because I fell asleep with the TV on. Woke up, the race was still going on at 3 o'clock in the morning after I already watched.
It's a 24-hour race. What do you expect?
I know, but it really is too good to be true. What were you getting into over the week?
A lot of video games.
Yeah,
a lot of video games. We all go down rabbit holes, man. Mm-hmm. And my son got into the game Gotham Knights. So once he started getting into that, and we're sitting there, and like he and I hung out almost every second of every single day. We were doing something most likely connected to video games, and so we started playing Gotham Knights. And then we have slowly transitioned to playing the very first Batman Arkham Asylum with that. Then it's also transitioned to the other 3 games that come after that.
Arkham City's the next one.
Yeah, Arkham City, and then you've got Arkham Origins as well.
Yeah, that one's not as good.
No, and the only reason he likes Arkham Origins is because out of the 3 Batman games, that one has all the DLC stuff that comes along with it, where you can drive to Tumblr from the 2000s Christopher Nolan's movies. You can drive the Michael Keaton Batmobile. You can drive all those things throughout it. You have all the different suits from like the very first Batman all the way up into the newest Batman. You have all of that stuff involved in the game. So it's the reason why he wants to play is because he can change suits 300 different times. So we were doing that, and I read 5 books over the week.
Bro, I didn't even touch a book. Did
5
I? No, I didn't.
Different books over the course of a week.
Good job.
I have no idea. It just happened because whenever I would be like outside cutting the grass, or whenever I was having to drive and go get, something for the wife or anything like that, like I had the book on 24/7, taking a shower, listening to the book, did the whole time. 5 different books.
That's an achievement right there.
I have no idea. I didn't even know it was 5 until last night when I started the 5th book and I started reading, and I was going, how on earth did I get to 5? How did this happen? And I started going through the week and realizing anytime I was by myself playing video games, hour or 2, I had the book going. And so I'm listening to the book as I'm going along. Next thing you know, I'm through one book one day, one book another day. I've never done that ever.
So were they like self-help books, or were they like sports books?
They were neither. No. During the summer, I always
listening to like Twilight on repeat.
No, it was close. It was not Twilight, but I never, when I was a teenager and in the early, late 90s and early 2000s, I never started the Left Behind series. I don't know if you ever even knew what that was.
No, it was popular before I was
It was popular before you were born. Basically what this is the book of if the end times actually happened. Okay. Like it's something along those lines. Like the rapture takes place.
Anything that correlates with what's going on right now, because I just need to know. I need to make plans. Come on now.
No. So this all starts, and I didn't start listening to it because of like what's all been happening in the news or anything. What happened is I was going through my Audible and I was trying to find a book, and next thing you know, I saw that the entire Left Behind series was available for free for like the next month. And I went, you know what? Never started it. Let me try the first one. Okay. So I try the first one. Okay. Then I get to the second one, then third and the fourth. What was really trippy is I start listening to it at the same time that everything's happening like in real life. And I keep getting confused as to what I'm listening to. Like, am I listening to the book? What I'm reading is which one is what it is? But now I'm on the 5th book. I thought there were only 3 of these books. That's why I started it. I thought there was only 3. Started reading it. I was like, oh, here's 1. Okay, cool. Here's 2. All right, cool. There are 11 of these books. I didn't know there was 11, and there's a prequel series, apparently.
Of course there is. If it was popular enough to have 11 books, they're going to have prequels.
Yeah, so I'm on book 5.
That's crazy.
Right now.
I would just watch the movie. And I think I actually did watch the movie.
The thing is, there's 2 sets of movies. There's one movie that is very, I think Kirk Cameron is over it. It's very Christian-based. It's all that. And then there's the Nicolas Cage movie that also came out. Both of those movies and those series end with the 3rd book.
I watched the Nicolas Cage one. All right.
Was it any good?
It was weird.
Well, yeah, of course it's weird.
The ending, Nicolas Cage. They're in the woods, and Nicolas Cage, he just does not seem like the character that should be in this. Yeah, I feel like it should be Bruce Willis or something like that. It should be somebody with a little bit more oomph. Whereas, when you look at Nicolas Cage, you think he's stealing the Declaration of Independence. He's very technical.
That does happen.
Does it?
That does happen with Nicolas Cage, at least.
Well, no, okay, I was about to say in Left Behind, that would be a pretty funny little thing. But I mean, I like books. I like movies that are all about like desperate times call for desperate measures. From what I remember of the movie, which I will say, movies can be really bad when they're based off of books because a lot of the times it's 1 for 1. Like the Outsiders, I did not like the movie. I know a lot of people love it. I like the book.
Stay Golden, Pony Boy.
It's 1 for 1 the book, and I think that it is a little bit too on the nose. Okay, I like if you move it to visual media, it should adapt to visual media. It should not be the exact same thing that the book says. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I understand the thought process. I do. I understand it.
Okay.
So that's what I did through this whole thing. And then I totally missed out on an opportunity today. I thought the college football game dropped tonight at 11 o'clock.
Joe, how are you losing out on this opportunity? Just download the game on your phone now.
Well, I mean, I already have I have the game downloaded. It's ready to go. I pre-ordered. It's all good to go. I downloaded it over the weekend. It's on the PlayStation. It's great.
So what did you miss out on?
I thought the game was dropping at 11 tonight. It drops at 11 today.
Yeah.
I could have brought it in studio.
Yeah, you could have, but then we'd be playing it on Tom's show or right after Tom's show.
Be an improvement. I mean, it would. Look, this would be awesome. We'd be like, I seriously thought that this thing didn't drop until 11 o'clock tonight. Like, I have the whole thing downloaded, the little counters going. Like my son, every single night, whenever he hops off the PlayStation to go to bed, he always swaps it over to one of my games. Well, last night, I'm tucking him into bed. Hey man, had a great day. Love you. You're an awesome little kid.
You're a cute little pie.
Just love you, big man. Did all that, and next thing you know, in the background, through my office, I start hearing the drum beats.
Oh.
From the college football game.
Yeah.
Like I started hearing the horns. I'm just going, I am 24 hours away from this. Like I didn't even look at the counter. If I would have looked at the counter, I would have been able to bring it in today. I would have set it up right here in front of me where all of our helmets are.
Yeah.
I would have connected it to the TV right above us, and we would have totally played today.
Joe, you
totally missed out on this.
We had to focus on the show. This is our first show back. We have to make it a banger. Last year, whenever the game came out, I was too busy working with SEC Media Days, getting through the extent of the day, which is a very long day, over 12 hours. And then I finally get back to the Airbnb. I get one game in, and I think it's Auburn versus Alabama. And Auburn had Oregon's uniforms. So
wait, what?
There's going to be some glitches today, Joe. You're not going to want to rush
that never happened for me.
No, it happened right away. I even have proof. I can show you that later. But you guys are also able to join in on the conversation. There will be a lot more sports coming up in the next few segments. 256-576-97.7 is the number to hop in. Stephen York already hopping in the chat, and he brought up this whole thing. He was thinking the Le Mans. No, it was actually the 24 Hours of Spa.
Oh, please.
There's more than just the Le Mans. I know that's the popular pick. I'm not going to talk any more about it, Joe. But you can also find us online at 977ESPN.com, and you can find our zone deals over there as well. But we got to hop into a break. Joe, when I get back from this break,
what am I going to be doing?
Probably gone playing college football.
I was like, well, you're making this sound like I'm going somewhere. I was like, where am I going?
The Crimson Tide continue to recruit, but Florida State might have just one-upped them. I'll explain when we get back here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today. today.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of iconic casinos, world-class shows, dining, and entertainment. Las Vegas. With flights starting as low as just $79, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Las Vegas. Book nonstop to Las Vegas now at flybreeze.com.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need,
but small enough to welcome you. Where you're never just a number, you're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm, 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. Another warm afternoon expected across the Tennessee Valley. A little bit of rainfall going to be in the forecast heading into the afternoon for this Monday. High temperatures once again reaching the low 90s. Heading into Monday night, temperatures going to be falling into the low 70s for the overnight and will continue to sit under a mostly clear sky.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Play it loud. Yeah, I will not allow anybody else to try and break me down. Nah. Time to make a point, let them know that I'm the greatest around. All about to watch an insurrection. It's my time.
Hello, welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of sports talk. 2 states, Tennessee and Winchester. Tennessee and Alabama, and mainly the Tennessee Valley area.
Yeah, Tennessee and Winchester are in the same place.
Oopsies.
Yeah, they're the same place.
It's where I was spending my 4th of July, and what a wonderful 4th of July it was watching fireworks on Timms Ford Lake, sitting on the top of the Shagwagon, which was a first-time experience for me, and it was a great time. It was good to see some family. The parents were out of town though, so I didn't get to see Tom or my mom or most of my family, but I got to see the people that I live with.
So what? You went to Winchester and everybody left?
Yeah, most of the people were gone. I was pretty much just hanging out with my roommates. So
could have done that here.
I could have.
Okay, so let me ask a question, and this is like blasphemy, and my wife is going to kill me if she hears me talking about this.
Okay.
What's the big deal with fireworks?
I think it's just patriotic.
I understand the patriotism.
I think that's basically the thing. You might get some backlash for this, Joe. And look, I'm not one to say, those fireworks are the coolest things I've ever seen. There are some really cool fireworks. You don't go to a lot of fireworks shows, though, where you see like the American flag firework get shot off, because that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I have this belief, okay? I believe that like there are certain things in this world that we should be more advanced with in our lifetime. I mean, again, for you 2000, for me 1984.
So you think there should be like a firework 2.0 or something? Like
No, we should be far past 2.0. Like we should be at like 12th edition or something. Like fireworks have been the exact same for decades.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. What do you want to throw in small drones?
I want it to be more entertaining. I want to see more than just a pop in a circle. Like that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I feel like there's something missing in the whole firework thing. I understand the symbolism. I understand the reason why we do it. I'm just thinking that in 2025, we should be more advanced with our fireworks than what we actually are. Like, can we not make this more entertaining? Better looking.
Look, I would say the one thing that would make you think that fireworks are the best thing ever, sync them with music.
See, in Birmingham, they do that.
They do that? Okay.
When I lived in Birmingham, they do this every year. They do it right over the Vulcan, and it's an amazing fireworks show as far as the number of fireworks, size. They're massive.
Mm-hmm.
You turn to a radio station, and there's music that's connected to it and all this other stuff. It's all patriotic music.
That's pretty cool.
But what I'm saying is like fireworks should be able to do more in 2025 than just go up and just go boom and make like a little circle and pop.
Well,
like
cars should be able to too, Joe.
See,
they should be floating and they should be going off of like corn grease or whatever.
Well, and I also believe like the space program. Like, let's think about this. We put a man on the moon like in the 60s.
Yeah.
All right. How come we really hadn't advanced much past that? Let's be honest, okay? Like and this is the city that knows so much about this. Like, yes, we have private people that are sending people up in space. We have all this other, thing as far as, there's people that are living in space stations and all this. We should be much further along in 2025 than what we actually are. Let's be straight. Okay, so same thing goes with fireworks. My wife loves fireworks, loves them. All right. And I will take her to a fireworks show. But the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm going, cool. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
They don't impress me.
It's mainly just something you do. I mean, it's the same as Christmas. Christmas doesn't evolve. It is what it is. Same with Halloween. It doesn't evolve. I mean, you get to see different costumes and all of that stuff, but outside of it, I mean, it's the base thing. It's the same.
Haunted houses have evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we've have one or two haunted houses throughout the entire North Alabama that's rated in like the top 10 in the country. Like you have haunted houses have evolved. You have had, trick-or-treating was kind of evolved for reasons because people are crazy.
You also have the horror vibe in general where it's like movies and all
exactly.
that.
Like you went through your to the gore and all that other stuff. Like scary movies have evolved.
Mm-hmm.
All of it with Christmas, obviously in Alabama, like it's kind of limited to extent, but you've had that's a better example. Because you said that how Christmas has not evolved. You can now go through these like Christmas villages and these light shows where all of these Christmas lights are all decorated to look like different things, and they have all these themes, and you can have the houses dancing to the music. All you have all this stuff
that has evolved. It seemed like that has popped up as a trend. But you're right though. I mean, 4th of July, it's fireworks on the Snapchat story. That's it. Like, I
mean, I have pictures. Like my wife and myself have taken the same picture every single year. Like it's a tradition. Okay, it's and we've got these pictures of him growing up through the 6 years that he's been watching fireworks with my wife. And again, it's a tradition, but at the same time, there's nothing makes me go, I cannot wait to this year's fireworks, man. I cannot wait. But with Christmas time, I'm going, I cannot wait to see what engineer comes up with the dancing house.
But it's not.
Like, I just can't wait for that.
It's not about the fireworks, though. It's about the feeling. It's about the independence. It's all about that. I don't know, what you're expecting out of this holiday. It's the 4th of July.
You know what I'm expecting? And here's the problem. There's one movie that ruined fireworks for me. There's one movie.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
And since that movie, I've expected over the course of the last 20 years that somebody should be able to do this, right?
Look, I thought we were going to get into some hot takes today. I did not expect some 4th of July hot takes.
You can't really say this before the 4th of July because people can call you like unpatriotic.
Oh, you communist. Get out of our stinking country.
How can you not believe and love all this stuff? Like you get all that sort of thing. Okay, you were born in 2000, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So in the course of our lives, let's think about this. The movie The Matrix came out.
Grand movie.
Absolutely, arguably one of my favorite movies of all time.
Just the first one or the movie series as a whole? Because that fourth one will be a little drop off.
Well,
it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
The first one set a standard, and then the second and third ones kind of become a fetish movie, and it was just kind of a little bit different. But the whole series is tremendous.
Yeah.
But that first movie alone came out in 1999. It was asinine to think about people being plugged in to and being able to basically go to a virtual reality type world. Yet we have VR headsets now. We have all these different things that have kind of evolved that way, and it's growing even more. Now, I say all of that. Did you ever watch Lord of the Rings?
Nope.
Okay. In the very first movie, I mean, we're probably 15 minutes into this movie. They have a fireworks scene where Sam and Frodo get into some trouble with Samwise, all the different hobbits. Because I want to, yes.
It's been a minute since you've watched it.
It's been a minute, okay? It's been a minute. And they get in and they launch this one firework. And the firework turns into a dragon that's nothing but fireworks, and it flies across the sky.
Okay. Seems a little unrealistic.
It did in 2000 or 2001. 25 years later, we should be able to make this happen.
I feel like we'd have to use little micro drones to do that stuff.
And I'm okay with that. I am okay with this. That's what I'm saying is we need to evolve the celebration of the 4th of July.
I don't know if you can. I want to know the listeners' opinions on that one. 256-576-977. Can you make the 4th of July better?
Look, I mean,
I'm not one to say you can, Joe. I'll take my week off, my weekend where I can just kind of sit back, relax, drink a few brewskis with the boys, and enjoy some loud bangs and bops. And this year, I feel like there were more than ever. I mean, you go down the road, there were fireworks going all over the place. It was a war zone.
No, for July 3rd and July 4th, like some people do, and I know that my brother-in-law's neighborhood does this. My cousin's neighborhood does this, where basically over the course of about 2 or 3 weeks, they take up donations where they can get the whole neighborhood together. They all put in a bunch of money to go to a fireworks stand, and they buy a ton of fireworks, and then they say, hey, when it gets dark in this cul-de-sac, we're going to start shooting off fireworks. Okay, that's cool. That's fun. Mm-hmm. It brings the community together. Everybody's outside. It was really fun. That's cool. But at the same time, we should be able to evolve the firework into something a little bit grander than what it currently is. I just feel like we've kind of missed the boat for a good 20 or 30 years.
Well, there wasn't a boat that was missed down in Martin Lake, which is kind of sad to think about.
Way to make it morbid, man.
Yeah, fireworks, they're dangerous. Let's just be real. They're dangerous.
No crap, right? They're dangerous.
Joe, when was the last time you personally shot off fireworks, though? Because that's where the fun happens.
The fun does happen in shooting them off.
The adrenaline rush of running away from the firework that's about to just explode right in front of you. It's just a little.
I honestly cannot remember the last time that I shot a firework off. I genuinely can't.
For the second time in my life, I went out and bought fireworks this past weekend, and I had a little bit of a show. And sadly, parents were out of town. Family didn't want to come over. Brothers were already ready to go to sleep or in a different city. So it was just me and John. And you know what? It was some of the most fun I've ever had. Greg wants to hop in on this conversation. Greg, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good on this Monday after July 4th. So I'm just going to play the role of old man yelling at clouds this morning.
That's fine.
Driving to a fireworks show and hundreds of cars illegally parking, and you watch 30 minutes of fireworks, and then taking an hour and a half to get out of that and get them. That's a level of hell for me.
Look, I don't disagree.
Oh my gosh. And people say, hey, don't you love the fireworks? No, absolutely not. And talking about one of you mentioned drones.
Yeah.
I think drones is the future. Let's put a soundtrack on. Let's let the drones go. Like somebody in a big city did a thing where they had drones that made it look like Kong was climbing like the Empire State Building or something, which was cool. I will tell you one other thing, and I'll let you go, I'm the guy also that, I don't listen to pre- and post-game sports shows I'm the guy that on the Super Bowl, call me when the kicker's running to the ball, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So here's my other one like that. I am so glad. I'm going to pay y'all a compliment. I am so glad y'all are back, because there's nothing worse than being in your car on July 4th, and when the local guys have taken the day off, the holiday off, and you have to listen to the national shows, and those guys are off, and they've got the interns running the show that day nationwide.
It's true. That is true. Chuck Oliver for last week. I remember it was the backups of the backups. I was just like, damn, how are we doing this? And
I'm
then
like,
even the show before Talking
where
Ball.
did they find these people? Where do they find these? Did they just pull a guy out of Grand Central Station in New York City and say, hey, you get to talk about the Yankees for 4 hours?
Oh, good. They've been sucking it up. I got plenty to talk
I
about.
know.
I'm so sorry.
Let's find a good show. But I hope you enjoy let's find a good topic to talk about. But I hope you enjoyed your 4th, and I'm glad you're back.
Hey, thanks for that. We appreciate that, man. I don't disagree with it. And I've literally hosted pre and post game shows, and I understand. I am the guy that seriously, like you talk about the Kentucky Derby and all this. I was like, dude, just let me know when the call to post is. Just let me know.
The pregame for the Kentucky Derby is ridiculous.
I don't want to know anything else. Like, because the way that television is, and look, it's not behind the curtain. I know that you figured this out by now. You can look at it like I'm looking at my TV right now, and it'll say this game is being broadcast, and it'll say coverage begins at 7:30. I don't want to know when coverage begins at 7:30. I want to know when first pitch is. Let me know when first pitch is. So, like what he was talking about, when I always knew 2:30 game on CBS was really like 2:36. So I never really rushed at 2:30 to turn it over because I didn't want to hear all the stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
I just wanted the kick.
I totally
Give me
understand.
the kick.
Yeah.
And again, this is somebody that has done in pre and post game shows for numerous teams. And I get it. But at the same time, like, I agree with him on the going somewhere, the fireworks. I cannot tell you how many times on a 4th of July I've driven down 65 or 565, and you see all the cars on the side of the road, and you're having to like drive and make sure that no idiot's going to run out on the street or something.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I totally get it. I know what he's saying. I do.
If you guys want to hop in on the 4th of July recap, you can, 256-576-9777, or you can go and hop on over to our YouTube channel at WZZN TV and hop into the comments. If you can't call in and you just want to throw in a little comment, some fireworks were had over for Florida State this past weekend as well, actually just yesterday, as they were able to get Chauncey Keenan. He's a 5-star cornerback out of Sarasota, Florida. And this comes after, of course, all the Thomas Castellanos comments that we have been talking about for what feels like a month, and we're still getting some people hopping in on the conversation, some reactions. One of them was a former Alabama quarterback. Pretty sure a lot of people know him, A.J. McCarron. He hops in on this conversation, and I do want to hop into that here in a moment, but there are still people talking about it, adding to the hype that is this matchup that a lot of people wanted to see College Game Day go to. Of course, that's not going to be the case. Ohio State versus Texas, going to be a great matchup. It deserves its own respect. But with the growth in these two organizations, in Alabama, with a lot of hype around Ty Simpson and the rest of this roster, and right now the storyline that is their recruiting class, and now Florida State with a completely revamped team, as well as a recruiting class going into 2026 that is top 15, we're looking at two teams that could be on the rise moving forward. And I know it's crazy to say for an Alabama team that has been on the rise, but they are getting back to what they need to do. And that, Dro, is sitting at the recruiting and picking up kids out of high school and building off of them moving forward. You got to keep the kids in the organization now. But Alabama's weekend, this whole past week that we were out, they have added several studs to the future of this Crimson Tide team. But hey, other schools are punching back. Florida State, one of those squads that added a few in this last week as well, 4 stars and 5 stars. But definitely something to look into, Joe, if you haven't already.
Yeah, well, right now Alabama's sitting at 5, according to Rivals, in the top 25 for recruiting wise. And for me, as somebody that's watched and pay attention, I understand the one thing as far as historically is concerned. Whenever you're talking about the NFL, there are things that you can always talk about that had always been kind of a fact. Like you didn't want to start the season off 0-2. Like you kept hearing, don't start the season off 0-2. Teams that start off 0-2 only have like a 5% chance of making the playoffs.
Don't tell me the stats. Don't tell me the percentages.
So that is pre-expansion when we added 2 more teams to the playoffs. And some of those numbers you kind of go, well, hold up. We haven't been here long enough to kind of figure out how long this is going. Recruiting wise, there's always been this mystique of, well, recruiting, star rankings don't matter. Well, they kind of do. And if you go back over at least before NIL, you can look back and see that all the teams that won the national championship over the last, I would say 20 years outside of one, which was Clemson, all had recruiting classes inside the top 5 and averaged a recruiting class inside the top 5 over a 4-year span. So, those are some of the things that you want to look at. I'm not so sure about what it is now in this NIL era, and especially over the course of the last 2 or 3 years where NIL has really taken off. And now we start looking at, and I'm trying to figure out and look at how much does recruiting the incoming freshmen matter compared to success on the football field.
And
because it's too short of a time span to be looking at it. And look, I know like Drew will sit and he eats, lives, breathes recruiting. I mean, that is his life. But I get it.
It does mean a little bit less now because of the transfer portal and the NIL. Because a lot of these guys going into 2026, they might say they're committed. Oh, well, there's a flipped commit going into the actual year that they're going into college.
You obviously you have the flipping of the commits and all that. The other part is once they commit, then you also go into I can ask the NCAA to get me out of my commitment so that I can go to this school or I can then go to this school. And because the 2 or 3 years is such a small time frame for us to be able to judge teams that win and are in the top 5 of recruiting as compared to being in the top 5 of the transfer portal, like those things, how they connect to success on the football field when it comes to the talent you're bringing in, that's still something that we're 5 and 6 years away from actually being able to see a true trend from this because it's also new and everything's happening. Plus, next year, for instance, over the course of the next 365 days with the rulings that have come out with college football, the rulings with in the courts and everything, NIL could change because of the new ways that things are happening. So we're in this period where looking at trends and everything may not be as important as what they are. So I will sit, and you even said, hey, this guy got picked up. There's this 4-star that just got signed. There's this 5-star that just committed to this. And I'm going, all right, cool. Are they going to see the field by the time that they're actually there? I'm curious about that.
And that's the tough thing to really think of. But when I think of Alabama football, I think of high-level recruiting. And right now, this team, I mean, they're basically leading everybody when it comes to these 5 stars. Okay, you got a few 4 stars. You got a few 3 stars, but it doesn't compare to some of the other teams' 4 stars and 3 stars. Alabama is pounding on those 5 stars, 4 of them. So that's the most in the top 5. Even though they're ranked 5 right now, they have the most 5 stars in the top 5, in the top 10, and on top of that, everybody else in the country. The 4 stars, they have a little bit less than some of the other teams, but there's a big drop off. There really is. You could be a 4-star and you could never even see or reach the ability to be a 5-star. Doesn't mean you're a bad player, but it also doesn't mean you're an elite player.
And there's
you're not there
issues.
at least yet.
There are also, the way that a player may or may not mesh with their position coach. There's all of those things that come in. Auburn fans still want to look at Byron Cowart as a bust for Auburn, and he was the number 1 player in that recruiting class, and Auburn picked him up. He transfers away. I believe he goes to Maryland at some point in time. He's now in the NFL. He was in the NFL. he wasn't a bust. It was just the fit at Auburn wasn't right for him.
Yeah.
And so that is where, like, I'm looking at, even looking at the class from last year for Auburn. Walker White is no longer an Auburn Tiger. Let's now not forget where he is.
Well, we're still trying to see if Auburn can get back to where Auburn was back in 2014, 2015. Whereas Alabama, you look at why they were able to find so much success with Nick Saban, and that was because of the recruiting train. Now with Kalen DeBoer, it's not just Kalen DeBoer. It's Nick Saban too. They're bringing in these high talented recruits. And this is Alabama. There is going to be a little bit of a standard. You're not going to see as many of these guys jump ship unless you see this team fail to just proportionate extents.
But you're still also using the standard with Alabama that was the standard with Nick Saban. It's a different standard.
Why does it have to change?
Because the coaching and the philosophy changes. The process changes. The belief changes. The person, what he looks at on film changes.
You still got Nick Saban in the back, in the corner, all right? For Kalen DeBoer, I think there is a few things that need to be tweaked. He's got his defensive coordinator. He's got his offensive coordinator. Now I'm looking at what he could do in year 2 with this team kind of fully under his helm, having a little bit of knowledge of what that first season gave him. I'm thinking that we might see a little bit more of Nick Saban out of Kalen DeBoer, even though the recruiting is less in the Southeast and more out on the West Coast as well.
You know that if this year goes the same way as last year, 9-3, 10-2, 8-4, any of those numbers.
What do you think is going to happen?
No, I'm just saying. You then start to get down the realm of what Florida was in the early 2000s after Steve Spurrier left, where the shadow of Steve Spurrier is still there. I mean, the man still has an office in Gainesville, and everybody is still comparing Florida nowadays to what was going on with him. Like, you start to see that, okay, well, is he really away from the program, or is this really DeBoer's program, or is this really just DeBoer's doing what Nick Saban says program? Like, well, not saying that's the case.
How long do you think Nick Saban's going to be in there? Because it could be a seamless transition, and then it could be just straight up Kalen DeBoer's team. This could be better than what Florida had in early 2000s, and they had to kind of just cut ties with all the guys that had success prior just to get Urban Meyer. I mean, this could be a different transition than what we saw with different teams in the past. And I know there's a lot of change that's happening, the NIL transfer portal, all of this stuff, but there's also a lot of change for the good that is happening, like the schools paying these players to maybe keep them in-house instead of them jumping ship every single time they can. Like today, because there is a transfer portal that has opened up.
Oh, sweet heavens.
But you shouldn't have to worry too much about it because it'll be some 1, 2 stars, 0 stars, just a bunch of backups, some walk-ons, and all of that good stuff. So, yes, if you didn't know, there is a transfer portal opened up today. We need to hop into a break, Joe. You were talking about fits, things that fit with teams. Sometimes they don't work. Well, Washington Nationals figuring that one out pretty harsh right now. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back, and you guys can as well. 256-576-97.7 here on The Blitz on WZZN TV, ESPN Winchester, and of course 97.7. I just said it. I'm not going to say it again.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all, with features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. A clear sky and a quiet night expected for the Tennessee Valley for this Monday night. Low temperatures going to be falling into the low 70s. Heading into our Tuesday, a little bit of rain and potentially a few thunderstorms in the forecast for the afternoon. High temperatures once again reach the low 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Show me how to lie, you're getting better all the time, and turning out against one isn't all that's hard to change.
Man, it's so good to be back. Not even gonna lie, it's so good to be back, and you guys are gonna get plenty of us today because the Tom Abraham show is going on today. But it's going to consist of no Tom Abraham And, well, I don't think any Abrahams at all. I'm going to be producing the show. I might talk a little bit. I'm going to try and keep my voice ready for the next episode of the Blitz, because that's what I hold above, the Tom Abraham show. Joe,
this
it's
is
tough.
only hour
Coming
one of
back after a
four for
long
us.
time. I can't hear you because I accidentally unplugged my headset.
Oh, cool. So you don't hear a word I'm saying. Your hair's ugly.
Hey,
you look weird.
Hey,
oh, now you can hear me.
My hair's
Okay,
ugly. Look
now
at your
you're-
hair. It's like blowing out in the back. Talk about
really
a firework.
Is. No, it really is. I need to get it trimmed up. Is what it is. It's
The
getting a little
hawk-
bit too thick and
What
too
is-
long
what
right
is it-
now.
What is it called when you get the hawk worked on?
We get it. I forget what I said. Look, it's been a week. You texted me last night and you were like, "Hey, man, we're back tomorrow." I'm like,
Yeah, we
"Oh
are.
crap, we are back tomorrow."
Oh, yeah, we are.
I totally didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Well, Joe, we were.
I mean, it's not like I missed a Braves win or anything.
That's what I'm
'cause I think
saying.
There's only like one or two of those.
So much has happened over the week, except for a change in the Braves. I mean, obviously they've just been continuing to struggle. They've been trying to find their footing, and there's been a lot of. You get a little bit of solid ground and then you slip. That's what the Braves are doing right now. The
our
Yankees,
last
on the other
show-
hand, are just falling off a cliff.
So our last show was on June 27th.
Yeah.
Okay. Since June 27th, the Braves have only won 2 games.
There you go.
One against Philly and one against LA.
At least we're not the Nationals, though, Joe. At least we're not the Nationals.
At least they're being proactive.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
I mean, they are being proactive.
They definitely are, as they go and fire both their manager and their GM. So there's totally a reload going on in Washington, Joe.
Well, and Dave Martinez, he got his world championship. Those were an amazing run, which was part of this whole new adventure when it does come to, oh, hey, you want to win the division? It doesn't always work out that way. Like, being that last team in kind of benefits you at times. Nationals went on a run. They go into Houston. They were able to beat the Astros. What's sad about it is there's times that I even forget that the Washington Nationals won the World Series.
Yeah, it's weird to think about.
It really, truly was weird, even though it's an amazing story. They had so many cool little things that went along with it. It was the year after they traded Bryce Harper away. Like, it was all of that stuff that happened. It was the players that they traded Bryce Harper for that helped them win the championship. All of that. They've been in this rebuilding period for so incredibly long.
Ever since it happened.
Ever since that world championship happened. Now, look, trust me, a couple of the guys they got rid of, great job by getting rid of them, because one of them, I think, he may have only played 3 games since then just because he doesn't want to play baseball.
Smart move.
So, those guys are it's good that you moved on. You do have some talent. Like, I think it's CJ Adams. He is tremendous. Like, you have some good pieces good young pieces on that team. It's just that you haven't really been doing much.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a division right now where between the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves, financially, those guys are spending bank on trying to win championships.
And I don't even think the last 2 series weren't even that bad. They got 2 out of 3 against the Angels, and that was in LA. And then on top of that,
they were in Atlanta. They've been on like an 8-game homestand, 9-game homestand.
I'm talking about the Nationals.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Braves.
Nationals.
The Braves lost to LA, but it was in Atlanta.
I'm talking a team that actually has won some games lately. And then, of course, the Tigers, they had a really good series against them, and then they got swept by the Red Sox, which I don't know what it is about the Red Sox. They're either all or nothing. And apparently they were all in whenever they were in Washington. But, this comes right before the Cardinals series. It's going to be starting tomorrow. Same thing for the Braves, the Yankees. They don't have any games today. All going to be back tomorrow. And, of course, for the Braves, you'll be able to listen to them here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. But some big news you probably should know of, similar to an NBA draft or a trade that, honestly, I don't want to talk about, but with 7 teams involved, made it the biggest NBA trade of all time.
Again, Kevin Durant, I don't know what team's he on now?
Who picked him up? The Rockets.
I say it genuinely because I'm not paying attention to it. Again, the one game I watched, I only watched a half, and it turned into a blowout, and it was like Game 7 or whatever it was of the NBA Finals.
Well, we got to hop into a break when we come back. Second hour coming up next.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying, Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
The Drive.
Both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flow Supreme Air. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flow tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flow, think fun for everyone.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, Savings never tasted so good. Click on that, then enter in the big zone deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Braves drop a 2-1 decision to the Orioles yesterday. Baltimore sweeps the series from Atlanta. Braves now 11 games below 500. They open up a series at the Athletics tomorrow in Sacramento, California. Shane Van Gisbergen caps his weekend with a victory in the Cup Series race on the Chicago Street Course yesterday, following up his Saturday win in the Xfinity Series. It's the second Cup Series victory of the year for SVG. He's 40-1 to win the Cup title. And Scotty Scheffler plus 340 to win this week's Genesis Scottish Open. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. Another warm afternoon expected across the Tennessee Valley. A little bit of rainfall going to be in the forecast heading into the afternoon for this Monday. High temperatures once again reaching the low 90s. Heading into Monday night, temperatures going to be falling into the low 70s for the overnight and will continue to sit under a mostly clear sky.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and the Blitz. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, back with you live and in studio on this Monday after the 4th of July, where I agree. Who was it called you in the first hour, Greg?
Greg.
Yeah, Greg was talking about there's nothing worse than hopping on the radio on the 4th of July. You're in your routine. You got to go do something. And next thing you know, you're listening. You're like, these are the backups of the backups of the backups on a national broadcast.
Yeah.
I truly believe that they just walked down to Times Square and said, hey, who wants to talk for 2 hours?
And they could talk. Hey, anybody you find on the side of the road in New York could talk. It's just whether they're talking the right substance or not.
Well, and I'm kind of in the same boat over here as I've got my televisions going inside the studios right now. I always have one on MLB Network, or at least it's MLB Network right now during football season. It'll be NFL Network. Like I kind of swap it with whatever sports actually in season. But then I have this other television that we have in studio. Normally that's on ESPN. The problem is ESPN right now is Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And there's no chance on earth I am putting Wimbledon on this TV.
Why is that? You're not a tennis guy? Come on, you hater.
No, nowhere close.
The smell of the tennis balls whenever you open up the little container.
Only thing I've ever used a tennis ball for was to play baseball in the front yard.
Or
that's it.
On the bottom of like your chairs in school back in the day.
Actually, no, didn't even use them for that. I did not even use them for that. No, me and my buddies around back in New Hope, I had a big yard. It was about an acre. That's bragging right there. I had an acre.
Oh yeah, you did.
Okay. And what we did is we basically built a baseball field in my yard. And because we couldn't use baseballs, obviously, because houses were way too close and, we're teenagers, so we could hit the ball further than an acre. And so we used tennis balls. So we literally, it would be like the Sandlot, except without going and buying a brand new baseball where you like take it out of the box. And you're like, smell that. It was, look at that. 3 more tennis balls. Let's go.
And then they were gone because it was pretty much just a home run derby because you smashed those balls.
It did kind of turn into that at times. Like we had to build our own, rules. It's the only time I ever used tennis balls.
Well,
it's the only time. Also, we're an hour away from college football 26 dropping. I really seriously thought about asking my wife to bring the PlayStation up here.
No, you
I
can't do
genuinely thought about asking
now that I'm thinking about it, it would be fun to play a little bit of college football before we get into Tom's show. But I do want to remind everybody that the show, as always, presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. And if you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. There has not been a lot of rain lately, but I hear there's some more rain to come in this forecast throughout the week. So rest assured with the Fleming roof above your head by giving them a call or looking them up at FlemingHSV.com. Joe, there was also an announcement over the week that is extended on to our love for video games and what we want in sports.
There is.
And you know exactly what it is.
I absolutely
Took
do.
you a second, but you remembered because you were the one that sent me it in the first place.
I was the one that sent it to you in the first place because when you were bringing this up just now, I went, what's he about to do on this? Because I can't remember. But when you made the announcement, if you did miss it, college football is now going to have its brother back as well.
Oh, yeah.
As college basketball has announced that they are going to have a brand new college basketball game.
God.
What's great about it, both EA Sports and 2K are hinting at both of them putting out a game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could they not just combine for this one game?
No, they cannot, because EA Sports is the one that dropped this first, saying, hey, they were going to be coming out with a game, or they announced that it's, hey, we're bringing the game back, all this other stuff. Everybody's pumped up for it. Then 2K sends out one of those cryptic posts that makes you go, hold up. Because for people that don't remember, unlike the college football game, college basketball, there were multiple versions of this because they kind of went to both EA Sports and I think it was 2K at the time as well. Here's my belief. Okay. EA Sports is the perfect avenue for the college football video game. It's about to drop in an hour. Perfect. This game is going to be absolutely beautiful. I'm going to 1000%. First game I'm playing is Virginia Tech. I may only play a quarter, mainly because they may not be that good. But I'm at least doing the intro because I want to hear Enter Sandman. I want to hear it, okay? I cannot wait to find me a team to build. Last year I did with Jack State. Don't know where I'm going this year. That's a perfect avenue for them because they have made Madden as much as people want to complain about it, they have made Madden beautiful. 2K has made NBA 2K look tremendous. So much so that EA Sports killed NBA Live because it was such a bad game.
It was not
It looked nowhere close to as good as NBA 2K has. Okay? So give me NBA 2K and give me 2K Sports to make the college basketball game. That's probably the version I'll go with.
This is what I'm excited for because with EA getting some basketball back in their rotation, I think that this is going to be finally a challenge that's going to push 2K to do a better job on their basketball game because they've been sloppy lately. I mean, this game was, I think it was peak 2013 through 2016. I think the 2K basketball games were amazing. But as of late, they've done exactly what Madden was doing. They've kind of just recycled a lot of the things they've had in past games, made the Ultimate Team very sloppy, and now it's just kind of the same thing every year. But with EA getting back into the basketball realm, even though it's not the NBA, similar to what College Football 25 did for Madden, it is going to push 2K to make better basketball games because nobody's going to want to get the NBA game if they've got basketball in college. I mean, nobody's going to want to do it. They're going to have to do something different for the NBA games or it is going to fall apart because I don't see enough people praising the 2K basketball games like they did back in 2015. I think that this game would genuinely fall off of a cliff. And I'll say that with a smile on my face on WZZN TV,
which you can watch just simply going to Facebook, YouTube, or going to X, wherever you want to go with that.
Yep.
Now, for me, again, we're talking about the perfect genres and the companies. If you would have asked me a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have said I want San Diego Sports to be the one that brings back college baseball because it was EA Sports that brought it back. You know, they're the ones that did triple play and all that. And for the time, it was cool. And San Diego Sports is the one that's been putting out MLB The Show. But after seeing what Konami has done with that Japanese baseball game I'm in love with, I kind of want them to be the ones that would try to do the baseball game. I really genuinely do.
The Japanese,
well, they don't do just Japanese. Like they make Silent Hill, they make some of those games as well, like Metal Gear Solid. Like those are some of the games that Konami does.
But like those are, you don't look at those and think America, baby. You look at sports games and you're thinking America. You know, unless you're looking at the cricket game that, oh my gosh, they come out with those. But no, it would be cool to see somebody else take a jab at it, because it has just been EA and 2K for the longest time with these sports games. But I don't know if that would be the case. And on top of that, we're looking at a game that hasn't been around since 2010? I mean, anything that EA or 2K puts out, maybe not 2K, because 2K has been up to it.
If 2K does it, then what they'd have to do is they have to do what they're doing now with Madden, because so many people have complained about Madden and the fact that they've just focused so much on MUT, which is my ultimate team, which is, where you basically have to pay to win. Mm-hmm. They focus so much on that they took away from franchise mode and all this other stuff. Whereas this year, that was the sole focus of this game, was making the franchise mode better. I want to see what they would develop with this basketball game. Here's what I used to do. When the college basketball game comes out, if both companies do put it out, what I'll most likely do is I will do the demo for both and then choose which one I like the most. That's what I did whenever I was doing like MLB The Show and was it Triple Play? No, it was. I forget what other version of it that I was, and I'd played for so many years. This was.
I loved Slugfest.
It was, but this was like a game that was on Xbox. It may have been Triple Play. Okay. But it was like those types of games where two companies had the rights to it, and I wanted to figure out which one was best. 2K was the one with MLB The Show that finally took over. I think that MLB The Show, especially this year going into next, I think that they're going to take a big jump baseball-wise because of how many people have talked about how great the Japanese baseball game is. It's not just me.
Oh, okay.
It's there are
tons of people.
There are tons of groups that I've been in that the moment this game came out, all they kept saying is, how is this already better than anything 2K's put out in the last decade? Like it's those kinds of comments. Same thing kind of happened with 2K and WWE. WWE was the same. They took a year off, and then they came out with a fantastic version of the game. That stuff's going to happen. If the college basketball game comes out, first off, it's going to be amazing because you're going to have the tournaments, the conferences, the atmosphere of college basketball. It's going to be so much fun.
All the different arenas as well, like Vegas. Vegas should be in there.
Well, and at the same time, I also want to see the ability to create, because like I want to say with this college football game that's coming out this year, the biggest complaint for last year was the fact that if you created a team, you couldn't create a stadium. I think you can create stadiums now.
Okay.
So like if you create Alabama A&M, which a lot of us do, we create the teams that you can't have. Heck, for MLB The Show, I'm playing as the Huntsville Stars. I've created Joe Davis Stadium. Like, come on. And so you create this stuff. The stadium part is part of the mentality. You don't want to play as Alabama A&M and be playing in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I want to see the evolution of how it's going to be, and it's going to be happening in about 45 minutes.
Put me on the hill. Do you know how much NCAA basketball 2010 is going for right now?
I would probably say $80.
$80?
I would say $80.
Okay.
The only reason I say that is because for a period of time, NCAA football 13, you
14. It was 14.
14.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy that on eBay for under $100 because everybody was continuing to update rosters, and that was the only way that you could play college football. Yeah. So I want to say there was a period of that. So I would say probably $80 for college basketball.
I'm looking on Amazon right now, and I feel like a lot of people probably felt the same about this one. It was the last one. It's been a longer time since
Blake
we've
Griffin
had it.
on the front.
Blake Griffin, Oklahoma. $128. You can get it on Amazon.
See, I undersold it. I undersold it for $100.
And I think that it didn't get up to the hype that NCAA football got up to, because that game, there were times when it was even up to 200 or plus. It was a good game, but it was mainly just based off of, well, it was the last time you can get it, and you couldn't digitally download it on the new consoles either. So the only way you could play it was on the Xbox 360 or by modding something and putting it on your PC. But yeah, NCAA basketball, $128. That's just showing you that this game does have the hype, this new one, and maybe the price has gone down on this Amazon listing, but there's still a very big want for this game to come back.
I can tell you right now that if we were to create a video game tournament for this college football game, do it like at Divergent or something along those lines, where we have like 2 or 3 consoles going at one time, the amount of people that would probably show up to play in a college football tournament would be something that would be like an all-day event.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It absolutely would.
And I think that's something we definitely need to take into consideration.
Because now I want to bring the game in tomorrow. Can I bring it in tomorrow?
I'm all for you. Yeah, bring it in tomorrow. Please do that. And we can play a little bit of it. And then we can maybe
put it up on the screen.
Maybe go over to Divergence, put it on an even bigger screen.
I could put it up on the screen here. We could have it going and figure out how to play. We could do it like in between the shows.
Dude, we could do it on the show. The whole show.
If we did it on the show, though, I mean, we would not be able to focus.
I mean, you just would want to watch it on WZZN TV on our YouTube.
Let's figure this out. Let's think about this.
Let's figure it out.
We got phone lines are open.
Yep.
256-576-977. We continue. Fun John Abraham quiz game coming up. Also, did we miss the fact that the ACC just gave Clemson and Florida State an out? Like over the last week, did this like totally get missed?
I missed it.
They have an out now.
Okay.
It's good. There's an out that could pave the way for a new college football league. We'll explain when we come back on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and the Blitz. You can also watch on WZZN TV.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com. EagleMasonryandInsulation.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
July 14th through the 17th, 97.7 ESPN The Zone will be live from Atlanta. 16 teams, 4 days, non-stop SEC talk. Your coverage of SEC Media Days is on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I won't die for it. So what? Front yard, broad day. See Gucci, that's my Gucci, that's my Gucci. I hang in the jail with them hits.
Hour 2 of 4 today. It's John and myself going to be hosting the Tom Abraham Show as well between 12 and 2. Don't forget also, amongst all the things that happened over the week that we were gone, Auburn actually officially became a Nike school.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, it's really nothing changes as far as the football uniforms are concerned.
Even though they're not really different either.
No, there's nothing that's different whatsoever. I just want the names on the back to be bigger. Can we please make the names on the back bigger? I don't know. Every video that I have watched has not shown me what an actual player's name is going to look like. Like, it's just had Auburn written on it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what the names on the back are going to look, because the rest of the jersey looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Helmets look the same. Pants look the same. Cleats are going to be better. You get to see them in the Nike logo and stuff in about 40 minutes whenever 26 drops today. I just want the name on the back to be bigger. That's all I want.
I'm just glad they didn't bastardize it like they did the Smoky Grays for Tennessee, because those new uniforms, gotta admit, they are not as good.
They can't all be hits.
They
can't all be hits.
And I know I'm not. I know that I could be singled out on this one because a lot of people do like these new ones. All right.
Well, there's a lot of symbolism in it.
There is, and that doesn't always mean that it's going to be the best thing. I mean, think back to Syracuse a few years ago. They had symbolism within their numbers because they were tall, like the skyscrapers in New York. Those were horrible uniforms. The ones that Tennessee got, a little less horrible. I think if you take off the volunteers on the chest, that's the one thing you have to do. Move up the numbers, make them a little bit bigger. That's all you had to do to make this uniform actually look appealing to me. I just think there's a little bit too much going on, and it's all in kind of different directions.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these ones, to be honest with you. Like, if I play as Tennessee, may I rock them like in a POS game? Okay. Like, but at the same time, like, I'm looking at them like, they're not all hits.
And they'll probably look better on the field. That's usually what it comes down to. They'll probably look really cool on the field, and I won't even have to think about it too much. But,
I mean, because I'm looking at them right now. Like, you're able to hear the audio in the back. Like, they're not horrible, but they're just not as cool as some of the other ones.
Yeah, I know we might have some other sports talk guys on this station talk a little bit more poorly of them, but I'm not going to do so because I'm all for cool uniforms and trying new things. But this one doesn't hit the same as those last year's Smokies were awesome. The year before that were great. And then the year they first moved to Nike, I think were some of the best that we've ever seen. But let's hop to the phone lines real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes of this segment. We got Brandon on with us. Brandon, how are you doing? Did you shoot off fireworks this weekend?
We did. We shot off a bunch of them, and I still have all 10 on both hands. So
Nice.
My children. So life is good, I guess you could say.
That is a peak 4th of July weekend. All fingers accounted for.
Yeah, I looked at my son. I said, "Hey, Pierre Paul." I was like, "Back up." What? He has no idea. And
golly, yeah.
So Auburn, are they not going to make room for 2 lines on the back of their jerseys? That way they can put minimum wage?
Really, they just can we put just the way that Hugh Freeze's buyout? Can we just put that on the back of his so that we just know how much needs to be raised? Like it's
the Freeze jerseys with the QR code on them.
Yeah, like a Jerry Lewis telethon. Like, can we just go ahead and do it so everybody can just scan a QR code and start donating money to the buyout? Can we do that?
They're going to give him one more year.
It's something along those lines.
With an asterisk near it.
He's at least enjoying his offseason because, again, I mean, he's playing a ton of golf, and I love that Lane Kiffin even took a little jab at him for playing golf.
Yeah, somebody went a little too far. They put golf is good for cancer. And I was like, okay. I was like, we found the line, and you need to back up.
And that's the other part about this, because again, I'm never going to talk bad about his diagnosis, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like anything I ever say about Hugh Freeze is going to be about what happens on the football field. Absolutely. Never want anybody to have cancer. Never want any of that. So I'm never going to take a jab at that or anything like that. But all I'm saying is that on the field, yeah, he's got a lot to be desired. And I've never seen somebody that is changing, and the wave is changing on him so quickly as far as the way the fan base is with him.
Well, I thought I saw a bad wreck with that Cody Ware incident in Chicago because it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see it?
No.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now, actually.
It reminds me of, I think it's when Jimmy Johnson was at a road course and he went through, but this one is just this one's a run and a stop.
Yeah,
like
he forgot to turn left.
Yeah, no, it's tough because this is the Chicago track, and he hit it going. It was plus 100 miles per hour, and Chicago is one of those tracks where it's a figure eight pretty much. All right, and I know this is the second year we got, and I mean those corners. I mean those tires will lock up on you, and you will just fly straight into the wall if you don't downshift at the right time and hit that corner at the perfect time. It's crazy to think about how difficult it is for the regular person, and there's like 36 drivers going at it at full speed.
So he actually started hitting the wall like well before that. And you can watch his RPMs and everything, because I found a video that has that he never slowed down. Like the only thing that was slowing him down was the fact that he was already rubbing up against the wall.
The guy won a race doing that one time.
Yeah. Well, wait.
Yeah. He just took it down the wall wide open, tore the whole side of the car off, and won the race.
Are you talking about Ross Chastain a few years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't win the race, but he did advance like 8 spots in that move. And then it was
He
banned.
He made the playoffs by doing that, or made the postseason by doing that.
He did, yeah.
That was it.
But
when I saw this crash, it reminded me of Snicker for the Braves. Because I don't know what the hell he was doing Saturday, but we're on the beach. And I took the TV to the beach with the portable generator and the Roku. So we're on the beach watching this game. You're tied 6-6 in the 10th with a guy on first, and you're walking people. You got Iglesias up there pitching.
Well, there's your first problem.
Yeah. I think we used every single pitcher we had in that game. I don't think the guy that came out in the next inning, I think that I think that was the last man standing. I don't think we'd have had to go and got Bozo the Clown or Charlie Culverson or something. I don't know what we'd have done. But
Braves used 7 pitchers on Saturday.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here and thinking, what are we doing? You're walking people in the top of the 10th with a man on, and then the next guy up hits one to the gap behind third base, and you score 3 runs. Like, I really wonder, is he all there? And then the Nationals are like, hey, we're done. We won the World Series 5 years ago. Everybody's fired.
Yeah, they were already down. They were already down 7-6 when he walked O'Hearn, and the bases, Westberg, which was the ghost man that was on second base, he had already scored. And then Stallings hits a double, and it was 2 other guys were able to score on there because so let me paint this picture, because here's what's happened. Westberg scored from third, okay? Yeah. Lariano had doubled, so he's standing back at second base. What Snicker was doing was he walks O'Hearn to make it a force play at third, second, or first. So obviously you couldn't do it at home plate. So what he was trying to do was hoping that his pitcher, which was going to be Montero, was going to be able to get a ground ball so that the Braves could get the double play, have a man standing on third base with 2 outs. That's what he was hoping for. And then you get out of the inning with only allowing 1 run. That was the thought. It just didn't happen because Stallings ends up hitting the double, and then both O'Hearn and Liriano both score.
I sit there looking at him like, are you that afraid to let Iglesias pitch? And if the answer to that question is yes, I understand.
And the sad thing is as much as I bashed Iglesias, over probably the last week or two, he's actually been good.
Agreed.
He actually has been. You know, it was one thing, like he had been decent. Matter of fact, I don't think he's even given up a run like over the last week or so. And that has been good. So even the bashing that I did before we even went on the break about Iglesias, the back end, the bullpen, all that being a problem, Iglesias has been better.
I agree. I think he's been better. And I really think that despite the modicum amount of talent, that there's a lot of these games that have been lost that would have this team closer to a wild card if this crap didn't go this way.
Look,
I'm watching this.
I've said the whole time, give me to the All-Star break. Give me to the All-Star break, and if I need to turn on this, we are a week away from the All-Star break. Basically, and I'm telling you right now that this Braves team is not a playoff team right now. It is not. And I don't know how so much can go wrong for a team throughout a season, but something is just not clicking for this team.
Okay. And I don't know what league minimum is, but the man has been cleared. Sign Trevor Bauer for the rest of the season.
Okay.
That way we've at least got somebody that can go. I mean, he could still throw upper 90s.
Okay.
And he'd cost you what, $250,000?
Now, I get the whole Trevor Bauer thing. I do. But he also hasn't been pitching that great for the Bay Stars either. Matter of fact, I want to say he was relegated down to the minor leagues in Japan.
I mean, he looked to me like he was doing pretty good, but I guess at some point having the belief that you're not going to get back is taken over, and the guy's been crapped on. But I mean, we got some guys on this team that need to be picking up garbage in Fulton County on the back of the truck. That's really what they need to be doing. And make some kind of move. Do something to show me that you give a crap, that you care, that you want to try to win. Like, it just feels, I mean, something ain't right. I mean, I think our GM's good. I miss Capoella wanting to give people money under the table like Al Capone. Of course I do. But I want them to do something to show me that they're trying, and that we're not out here basically saying, well, we got a Sandlot team and that's what we're going to ride with. That's not good enough for me.
No. And yes, you've had injuries to the pitching staff. Absolutely. You've had, Profar is back, and honestly, he's been playing pretty well. He's been playing well since he came back. And as much as I don't like it, because again, if the Braves do go on this magical run and it's because of him, he's not going to be available in October. But the bullpen itself needs a lot of help. Like, you still use Pierce Johnson, and I'm thinking to myself he wasn't good for Colorado. He had a little bit of hope for that team when he came back when they brought him back last season, but he hasn't been that outstanding. You have like Bummer, who hasn't been pitching that well. You have De Los Santos has been pitching well. Iglesias, again, as much as I bashed him earlier in the season, the last 2 weeks, he's been pitching very well. Now, I don't know how much that's going to continue. Montero has kind of been that guy that Iglesias, they only wanted him to pitch the 9th inning in that game on Saturday, and then they brought Montero in for the 10th, and you saw what happened in there. The Braves, if they do need to make some adjustments, they definitely need to do it to their pitching staff, because it's crazy to say that this offense, who is not scoring any runs right now, in all reality, I think that if you're not going to get rid of Snitker, that you need to do something to get the offense going, because right now, the Snitker thing, that whole, he's retiring at the end of the year and the Braves are going to let him go out on his terms and all that, that's great. Then just tell us you're forfeiting the season. so that we can stop caring, because I watched every single game over the last week. And I just started getting angry at every single time because I kept standing back and thinking, how is this continuing to happen? Like, how do you continue to not be good with 2 outs? Like, it is so, I understand it is a trait that not everybody has, but the amount of times that the Braves have had opportunities to score runs with 2 outs and have not gotten the hit is astronomical. I don't know what it is about baseball, but Ozzy Albies seems to always come up in a clutch situation, and he has not been able to come through majority of the time.
I agree. And at this point, I feel like if you could take a camera, you know, the Manning cast?
Yes.
If we could have the Leo Mazzoni cast, viewership numbers would go up.
God, you would get,
because when he had a meltdown in his living room and takes a ball bat or a 2x4 or whatever, that would be more entertaining than watching the Braves. So I'm proposing a Leo Mazzoni cast at this point, because I almost feel like they need to turn him loose on that bullpen just to bring it alive, just to do something, to put some electricity into somebody, because I know even at his age, he may not be able to coach every day, but he's got it. And if I'm with you, if you're done with the season, just say you're done.
Yeah.
This is it. We're not doing nothing else. We're not doing anything of any kind. We are just going to embrace the suck, and then we'll all just temper our expectations and say whatever. But when you're enjoying beating the Mets and you literally got 75 people crowded around a 32-inch TV on the beach watching this game, and then they walk a guy in the 10th, and the slew of cuss words that is flying, nobody there could believe it.
Well,
and like I said, you understood the strategy. I didn't understand the strategy.
And O'Hearn is also hitting outstanding for Baltimore this year. He's going to be an all-star. He's going to be in Atlanta next week. Like, the strategy was to create a force play so that you can get. Honestly, I'm shocked that more teams don't do this right out the gate and put 2 men on so that you can create the force play. Like, I'm shocked that they don't. I think a lot of times now the strategy is try to get the first out if the runner's still at second base. Then you potentially walk a guy so you can get a double play and get out of the inning. Like, that's
And why did you go away from Iglesias going into the next inning? What did he do in that one inning that was so bad that warranted a pitching change?
It was more about the fact that that was going to be like his 3rd or 4th outing in like 5 days. And so you're trying to keep him to being just a 1 inning. Like, they want Iglesias to just be a 3-out pitcher. Like, that's all they want from him. You want him to just go in, pitch his 1 inning, and that is it. Like, that's the whole thing. They don't want him to be a multi-inning type pitcher. So that's the reason why. It's like, you could have brought him out, but that hasn't been the strategy all year. And in fact, looking at his game log so far this season, Iglesias hasn't pitched more than an inning all season. So that's why you only have him in for just that 1 inning.
And I know he got in a little bit of trouble throwing to first and exhausted his amount of throws where he can throw to first and all that. But it seems like it's hard for a team to get in a rhythm when you're changing pitchers every single inning.
For me, I understand. I look at the strategy of it and I think to myself, like, again, you only have certain pitchers that can go for a certain amount of times or certain innings. Like, you have your pitchers in your bullpen that, you know, okay, I can send this guy out for 6 outs. I can send this guy out for 9 outs. This guy is only a 3-out pitcher. And so when you get into the 10th inning, the theory is that you're not going to go past the 11th or 12th. And if you have to use a pitcher an inning, then you use a pitcher an inning, and you're saving your guys for potential use later on in the series. For me, it's not as big of a deal just because I see the reason why it's done like that. But also, I think that the strategy itself could have been a little bit different. I think that, but also think about what we just talked about. You're not going to walk Liriano in the 10th inning to get to O'Hearn, who is your all-star, make a lefty-righty matchup and put O'Hearn in a situation where he can put one on top of the chop outs.
Agreed. I agree to that. I guess I felt like we just looked like we were scared.
No, look, the Braves don't look right. They don't look right. This does not look like a team that has any confidence in itself whatsoever. They are making simple mistakes. They are not coming through in clutch situations. There are times like, and then you also have just the bad breaks. Look at Sean Murphy's hit yesterday. Dude literally hits a ball 1 inch further and it's a home run. Instead, he hit it off the corner of the wall and it ricochets back like 100 feet. Like it's just one of those breaks.
I guess we lost the game trying to play strategy, but I'd rather O'Hearn put one in South Fulton County and just throw the ball. And just don't look like you're scared. Don't look like you're hobbling, just like you're barely hanging on. And that's what the Braves look like right now. We look like a wounded duck that's just trying to make it. We're going out there just hoping to be competitive instead of expecting to win. And it's enough to make you want to bash your brains out trying to watch it.
And you also have a rookie that you've put out there for 3 or 4 times, and he's gotten rocked each time. Like, it's just – and I know that he's getting his reps, and I know you're trying to get him to see what he could do at the major league level. But those are also 2 or 3 games that the Braves lost that they had an opportunity to win that could have changed the direction of the way that things were going, especially when you're down in Miami and you had an opportunity to win a series there after just doing what you did against the Mets, and you end up losing 2 of 3 instead of winning 2 of 3. Like that, yes. Chris Sale injury, and then you have, Sawyer's out, and you have all these other players. Yes, the injuries are one thing as well. Profar being gone for 80 games. You haven't had Acuna for the whole season. You have all these different things that are happening. You thought Orlando Arcia was going to be your shortstop starting in the year. Now he's a Rocky. You're going, there's a ton of things that have happened to this team. It just feels like nothing this team is doing right now is clicking. Like nothing clicks for them.
Oh no, there's definitely nothing clicking at all. And I wanted to ask John before I go, what do you think about Jose Canseco trying to put up $250,000 to see if he can hit a softball farther than Aaron Judge can hit a baseball?
I don't think much of it because they don't think much of the money that they're spending.
I just want the movie he makes. I just want it to be true. That's all I want. I don't want it to be his truth. I want it to be a true story. That's what I want. I want to see him and Mark McGwire putting steroids in their butt at Joe Davis Stadium. That's what I want to see in this movie when it comes out.
That'd be gritty.
You're probably going to want the Epstein files too, and they're probably not going to happen. So,
hey, they don't have any good evidence on that, okay? They don't have any good evidence. All right.
Appreciate you, Brandon. Good stuff from you, man.
Yeah, if you missed that part, Jose Canseco apparently is trying to finance a movie about his life story. I just want it to be. I want them to just to be honest. That's all I want.
If they're honest, they should be though. I mean, it's past his career.
But see, Jose Canseco is one of the most narcissistic egomaniacs that there ever actually was.
That's why I think this is going to be the best movie ever. If it does come into fruition, it's going to be bizarre. It's also going to be very real, very gritty, and I think that it's also going to paint the picture that he is an amazing person.
I think that it's going to be one that Jose is going to take every bit of the credit for the steroid era. So I want to say that this would be one that he would want to tell the truth, but tell it in a way of like, this is what I started doing, and this is where it all started happening. Like, that's the reason why I want Joe Davis Stadium involved.
Well,
because that's where this all started. He started, like, I sat there when I was playing at Joe Davis, and I was in the bathroom. I'm going, so is this the stall? Like, I genuinely asked that question. I'm in the Stars locker room, and I'm going, so is this the stall?
What's that needle doing there?
Like, I went to the bathrooms that were on the concourse. I was like, well, was it in this one? Because they used to have the troughs. Like, was it like around here? Like, where did he do it? Like, I need a marker, okay? Like, put down a little marker on the ground of this is where Jose Canseco stuck Mark McGwire with a syringe.
It's like a little X, like in Dallas.
That's what I want. Like, exactly, where JFK was.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know. Show me where this is at. That's what I want to see from Jose Canseco.
What if they show the exact detail? Well, this is the problem, though. Stars don't have their facility. Joe Davis isn't what it used to be, but it's even better
CGI.
now. Let's say. Either way, we got to hop into a break. He may have started that in Huntsville, but we started something else, and that's the John Abraham quiz game, and that's what we'll be getting into when we get back to close out the show here on a Monday on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV. We'll be right back.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
The Atlanta Braves.
Swung on and crushed. Deep left field. Kepler going back. Here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park. A walk-off home run by Marcell Ozuna.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We are 8 minutes away from this game going live. CFB 26, where you can listen to this, is run out to West Virginia Tech.
You're going to be kicking yourself, but you got to be in studio.
I am. I'm so upset with myself for Michigan, for not paying attention to the time and not paying attention that it was 11 a.m. and not 11 p.m.
Yeah, pretty important detail right there.
I'm so used to it being 11 p.m. Then I saw everybody going, can't wait for noon Eastern. Wait for what?
I'm going to be real with you, Joe. I think I have a cold coming up.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Right after the break, just had to happen.
I think what it is I'm also sick as well. So I think that, I think that we just throw it to some national, since, we just
I'm not
heard
even
how much
joking.
everybody loves that.
So, no, you're joking. I'm not joking.
I'm so joking. I am so possibly joking.
And
yes.
my head's starting to hurt, man. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed any of my brothers to come up and hang out with me this weekend.
So Brandon was mentioning Trevor Bauer. I was like, we just need to go ahead and sign Trevor Bauer. This year for Yokohama, for the parent club, he has a 4.13 ERA. He is 4-7 right now, as far as his ERA is concerned.
Horrible, I guess.
It has been so bad that he's been relegated to their minor league team that plays in the Eastern League, because the way that Japan is northeast, whatever. So he's not even on the major league team in Japan.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are like, you need to give it to Trevor Bauer, need to go. Here's the other part. Yokohama won the Japan series last year, which is the championship for the MPB. Trevor Bauer wasn't on the team when they won because he was pitching in Mexico. He pitched for them in 23 and this year. So I understand the whole love with Trevor Bauer. It's almost kind of like the love for Colin Kaepernick. Come on now, somebody sign Colin Kaepernick.
He's good enough. He took him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you see, like, it's that, okay, slow down. Let's look at how it is in 2025, okay? So just saying the whole Trevor Bauer thing, I know that there's that love for him as far as, what he was supposed to be and what he was, especially after 2020 and 2019 when he had like a 1.73 ERA and then, he pitched 17 games or whatever for the Dodgers and he had a sub-4 ERA or sub-3 ERA. I get it. He's not the same pitcher in 2025 that he was in 2021.
No, he's not.
Just throwing it out there.
Same goes for a lot of the college football teams going into 2025. And Joe, I just wanted to let you know, because we got a call just before this segment. LSU's coming.
Oh, is he really?
LSU's coming.
LSU Lynch is going to call in Darren Tom's show?
I didn't say that.
Dang it.
I said LSU's coming. We'll see about that.
I was hoping he meant that because we got to do Tom Abraham's show from noon to 2.
Steve's going to join us.
That's what John keeps telling me.
Where is he?
I don't know. That's why I keep saying. That's what John keeps telling me, is that Steve's going to be joining us. But we still have a fun John Abraham quiz game that we're going to do during that show. I saved it.
I got to wait an hour.
I saved it.
I better start studying.
But you don't know what to study.
I'm going to study everything.
I'll let you know it involves SEC quarterbacks.
That's good to know. Well, it's been
SEC
fun.
Quarterbacks.
It's been a fun first show back. Well, we got to do our second one today. We'll be back in an hour for the Tom Abraham show coming up at noon. We'll see you guys later.
Bye. Love you.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all